What it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, man. Did you read that Week Hero chapter, boy? But again, review only, no pictures, no nothing, none of that shit. This is my disclaimer only. This shit was fuego. I was hype as shit, but I was reading it bit. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the Rowan beat Yushang, but we didn't know how. We didn't know what happened. Like, how did he win? So this got built different. I messed with Ron. Now, it's a little frustrating, just a little bit, because he did take way too much damage. Again, you know, these guys need to start learning how to defend themselves, because they take way too much goddamn damage, boy, and they just be taking that shit like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys got chins of steel. You know, I know some people are built different, like John Jones. You know what I'm saying? Anybody know Johnny Bones? The GOAT, the greatest of all time. His chin, legendary. Never been knocked out, never been knocked down. Dude is built different. Dude got caught in an armbar, perfect armbar, hyper extended, broke out of that bitch and choked this month out, bro. Come on. Rowan out here, bro, he's getting chopped up by Yushang, and he like, damn, I can't figure out how I'm gonna do this, bro. I can't get close enough. This guy keeps great distance, great range. Anybody that knows fighting knows there's only really two elite ranged fighters in the sport right now, and that's John Jones and Israel Adesanya. You know what I'm saying? These two guys are phenomenal when it comes to range. They use the reach advantage way better than any other fighter probably in the history of mixed martial arts. I can't say boxing, because other people like Floyd Mayweather, insane at range as well. Probably the highest IQ of a fighter I've ever seen is Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I mean, I suppose boxing, you know, it's fixated on just hands. But when it comes to mixed martial arts, there's more elements to it, so you got more to think about. So I would say him, John Jones, and Israel Adesanya, these guys are the greatest at range management, at distance management, elite. If you look at defense, John Jones has the highest UFC defense of all time. He barely gets hit, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people see volume hits, but he rarely gets hit clean. He did take a few clean hits against the guy that people thought he lost against, that guy. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this is important. This is pivotal for understanding what's happening between Rowan and Yushang here. You know what I'm saying? Yushang is hitting him pretty flush. And Rowan is just about staying up. But he was like, okay, I gotta shake this motherfucker up, because he's a person that like needs confidence to do well in a fight. If he does not have confidence, he struggles in a fight. So what did he do? So he figured it out, because initially he tried to just taunt him and be like, I'm the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? I bit somebody's ear off. I'm built different, all type of shit. But Yushang wasn't buying it. He hangs out with Jake, and Jake is built different. So now what's worrying me here is because team Yu Shanghai is beating the other guys. I'm kind of worried that Big Ben might lose as a result. These guys are underestimating these guys like Gray and them, but we know that Jake doesn't underestimate Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? We know that he wants Big Ben to fight at his hardest, because he wants it to be like, I beat this guy legit. So I don't know. It's kind of worrying me, because if Yu Zhang is winning here, that means that I don't know if it's going to have them win all the battles. You know what I'm saying? I suppose they're going to have to go up against the whole union. So maybe they have to win all the battles. Otherwise, it's kind of like they have no hope. Really, it's just Big Ben and Gray trying to finesse everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see. I cannot wait to see this. I think it's looking kind of crazy, to be honest with you. But I really enjoyed this chapter, man. I really liked how it honed in on the fighting. It honed in on this is what I like, the little details that like make all the difference. So Yu Zhang, if you look at it, he's a step. Now, see, this is again durability wise. If you look at somebody like Yu Chang, right? Yu Chang is clearly not used to being hit. He's used to just winning fights and people giving up after he hits them a bit. Like the bullies, and this was displayed by showing those bullies. He hit them a few times and they were like, man, leave us alone, and they walked. He also is used to hanging around with somebody like Jake who can take out anybody type shit. You know what I'm saying? So automatically people fear him in that level. Now somebody like Rowan has been bullied his whole life, was beat up his whole life, and he just recently became strong, so he still has that fear, but he's also used to getting hit. This is very important. He's used to getting beat the fuck up. This is extremely important. So I think it made most sense that he was able to take this beating than he did Gray taking the beating off Wolf, because Gray isn't really used to taking a beating, you know what I'm saying? But Rowan, we know, is same as Eugene. We know these guys are used to taking beatings. We know even when he fought when they got kidnapped and they were getting beaten up by Wolf, he didn't even really try to hit back and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That could actually be the reason why Wolf might have lost, because I think he did get hit actually a few times by the guillotine, but I can't really remember. But yeah, so it was an interesting thing. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed how he figured it out. He was like, okay, well, your punches don't hurt. And Yu Chang's like, man, look at your face. You bubbly, man. What you talking about? How does my shit not hurt? And you all bubbly. You're like, well, I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Do something. So this agitates Yu Chang. Like, man, this motherfucker's still not giving up. Okay. And then you fight a little bit more recklessly. And it's all about those little details. It's like fighting Adesanya. You know what I'm saying? It's like fighting that dude. If you're trying to fight Israel, bro, and if you lunge in too much, you knocked out. If you stay back too much, you lose anyway. So it's one of those situations. So he lunged in a little bit, got a little too excited, got a little too close, because all we know that our boy was waiting for was a chance to pop that elbow. And now that I remember, I think he popped that elbow against Wolf. Kind of makes sense that maybe how Wolf lost now. I think when I was a bit too harsh on the author when it came to that. But Wolf did get popped with that elbow, and that elbow is vicious. So his chin was probably already damaged. Just kind of like anybody that's fought Royal Romero, for anybody that doesn't know UFC. I should probably stop the UFC references, because I know a lot of people don't know UFC that well. So, but it's like, you know, if you take a big hit early, it could come back to affect you later. So actually kind of be making more sense. I might have to review that fight again, you know what I'm saying? I do have a video on Gray. I was going to do it today, but since the review is out today, I'll do the Gray video tomorrow. But phenomenal. He stepped into range, and he took in the first hit while he's kind of moving back a little bit. He took it just to kind of be like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna take that hit. And the thing is, in fighting, the punches you expect rarely knock you out. It's the punches that you don't expect that knock you out, right? So if you see a punch coming and he hits you flush, you're probably not going to get knocked out. But if you're not paying attention and he hits you flush, you're more than likely going to get knocked out or dropped. That's usually how it works, right? So even if a punch isn't that hard, if you're not paying attention, your brain isn't active, everything isn't fully prepped for it, you feel it way more. Okay, this is very important. So if we're fighting and I'm looking at you and you punch me straight in the face, boom, I probably won't even feel it because adrenaline, right? But if I'm walking and you just come from the side and go boom, I might get knocked out, or I might be like, oh shit, I'll feel it way more. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the human anatomy works. So it's important here because our boy Rowan hasn't really been hitting back. So Yu Chang wasn't expecting anything. He punched him directly and then he went for the left. When he dodged him, he did the turn pop elbow, right? So he turned with the pop elbow. So this is great for momentum, right? When you turn like this, there's more power to the elbow because you get a full almost 360, more like a 290 degree turn, which increases the momentum of your elbow. So he hit him with that. And he kind of, the back of the head and the jaw. So he kind of like slipped both. And you know, the back of the head, even in most sports, is illegal to hit for a reason. It's the weakest point. Here is a very weak point. All of this area is a very, very weak point in the human anatomy. Same as on top of the head. All this part here, they call it the mohawk. The mohawk region is extremely dangerous. And he popped elbow him from the mohawk region to the jaw. So it like slipped because obviously our boy was turning his head to avoid the mohawk area, and boom, square in the jaw. And he followed up with another one, boom, flush in the jaw. Is GG. These are clean flush hits here. You see here? Knocks your brain easily, because if you dislocate that jaw, it moves up here. Man, I'm out here like a goddamn watch them super ultra fans break it down like no, you actually slightly wrong here. The percentage of blah blah blah.
I'm not actually a fight analyst, but you know that's what I'm thinking. But then we also had Gray fighting, and Gray's fight was absolutely phenomenal as well, because he used his brain. I like Gray when he uses his brain and he's not just brute force. And how he uses it, he's like, okay, I can't really sense a weakness. Okay, I gotta create a weakness. And you know, because once the Rowan switched the tables on everybody, everybody else was shaking. Or like, oh shit, like we didn't expect any one of us to drop. And that, now you start wondering how strong are the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy was getting his ass whooped and just got up and won. So how strong are these guys? These guys are built different. Like, what's going on? I thought these guys were chumps. So then he creates that fear, which is like, oh shit, now I'm afraid of losing. And that little, you know what I'm saying, that little thought can ruin you. So that's what happened to Dean. Now Dean is repeating the same moves because he's a bit more worried now. He's a bit more frantic. And Gray used that to his advantage. Started ducking, dodging, weaving. He got hit once, true clots at him. Then he jumped at him with a popping headbutt. Boy, like, boom. I'm like, damn, bro, relax, man. Caught Lee in the jaw too. Boom. Headbutt, right? And Dean is just not expecting that shit no more. Like, what's going on? And then he blocked his hit. And you know, Gray's very smart, aptitude. You know what I'm saying? He understands his fighters. He sees the little movements, the little, you know what I'm saying, the setups. Because people have you know, unless you're somebody like Adesanya, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have gives before they do a move. And if you can notice those gives, now trained fighters train to feint those, you know what I'm saying? So you feint and you get them used to you feinting that move, and then they'll automatically start thinking it's a feint, and then you hit. That's called setup, right? And Dean has zero setup. He just does the move. So it was very easy for Gray to grasp his movements, grasp his moves, and capitalize on it. And, you know, it was really good how he did it. And even when he blocked him at the end and he went for the fist and then switched it to the palm, bro, this shit hurt. Like, right here, you can hit way harder and less chance of damaging your own hand or your fist. Because, you know, Gray was like, the more damage I take, the less of a chance we have of winning this battle. So he needs to finish off his side so that they outnumber everybody and get rid of them and get to Big Ben. Because, you know, Big Ben isn't more than likely not going to have a one-on-one fight. The other crew pulling up, it's going to be insane. I cannot wait. Now, this has been phenomenal. So I don't mind this as quote-unquote filler before the Big Ben fight. But I didn't like the kind of like some of the chapters in between, which felt like just people staring at each other anime style for a whole episode. But this is actually really good and really interesting, and it showcases when the author is on his P's and Q's that the writing is spectacular. Anyway, that's the chapter. It's been your boy Supreme Chi the God. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that gang shit. Roll to 600. I'm out.
I got friends now. You ain't know, but I got friends now. I'm balling out with my friends now. You ain't know what I got friends now.